Hola, 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 hola. Welcome to sunny Spain, as it is. Welcome, everybody. Round 10 for the Barcelona Grand Prix. So, yeah, as you can tell, I'm speaking with Spanish. And thank you, Fabio. You're opening a Stella,
No.
famous Spanish beer,
Yeah.
undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, renowned on the terraces of Barcelona.
It's
Yeah, go ahead.
no. It's in. I think the Spanish beer is the Estrella Galicia.
That's the one. Thank you so much. I knew Fabio would know. He's a
Yeah.
hooligan after all.
Well, they
Uh,
they they gave me. I mean, they they were part of my wages. You know, 'cause they
oh,
were giving us money at the
of
time.
course,
So
of
yeah.
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, you got a British beer by the looks of it.
Yeah,
Brewdog.
yeah, yeah. It's actually. I think it's Scottish. Brewdog. Is it Scottish?
I don't know actually.
I think it is. Yeah.
I thought that was.
No, we have a
I think
Scottish
it's just
expert.
British kind of. Well,
Generic. Yeah. Anyway, Brewdog it is. Very nice
yeah.
beer. IPA even.
Is there
Uh,
not
Yeah.
brewdog? Is there not brewdog pubs in England?
No, it's a brewery as far as I remember. Jumping on the
Okay, we
thing.
give like brewdog pubs as well.
It's not. It's not. That isn't the British one, is it? I mean, the Bristol one. Let me look it up.
I honestly don't.
Here we go. Let's just have a quick look here. Brewdog Company, Scotland. There you go. He's right. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's a
the man.
true football fan. You can tell he's a true soccer for those Americans that are here. Football fan, and welcome everybody. Let me say hello to a few people. Hello, Sandy. Good to see you. Oh, that is the wrong one. Hello, Sandy. I need a full explanation of jokes. I know nothing about F1. Don't worry, you're in good company, Sandy. Which is probably what he said. Probably neither do Simons or Lucky. Yeah, okay, we're close. Bob's here early. Welcome, Bob. Welcome, Bob.
You could add beer to that. I mean,
I don't know
F1
shit
and
about
beers. They don't know shit. Yeah.
Listen,
Okay,
listen.
well,
I didn't come here to get your abuse. There's plenty other people wanting it to abuse me.
Yeah, it's probably right. Especially as you've just fallen out of the Euros.
This doesn't work.
Okay. Fab looks Spanish till he talks.
I don't know what it means.
He's being
Honest.
racist. So he's actually
Yeah,
a
I
little bit
think-
casual racism from
Yeah.
the American friends. Thank you very
My
much.
goodness.
Welcome, Michael. Welcome, Michael. Okay, so how did your game go today, Fabio? I haven't seen the result yet.
Sorry, I muted because there was an ambulance going by. Just still playing.
That was an ambulance. I thought it was an ice cream van.
No, it's an ambulance.
Okay.
It wasn't going fast enough. It wasn't going fast enough
He
to
says,
get an ice cream van.
Marky says his family's Spanish, so it's not racist. That's all right. That's right.
Yeah.
My housekeeper's Spanish, so I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
racist either.
but Michael says, my family is Spanish. What he didn't wrote is that he hates his family. So it is.
So there, it doesn't disqualify him.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Fair enough.
hey.
Okay. So where were we? Formula One. Well, that's the race. There we go. And thank you, everybody. No. What else have we got here?
Yeah,
That's
moving on
partly
from
true.
the race.
That's partly true, he says. Okay, yeah, so we were at Barcelona. Quite an interesting qualifying session. Very, very close this week. And Barcelona normally famous for the 2x2s. And it was pretty much 2x2, except for a few exceptions. Perez and Piastri being the two main exceptions. Norris in first place by a very sliver. I said he had a lap of his life. And it was a very good lap. Then Verstappen, surprising everybody with a turn of pace from that car, which hadn't shown through the practices. Then the two Mercedes, then the two Ferraris. Pretty much this circuit is down to engine power, and that was going to show. Except for the two phenomenal drivers, which were Norris and Verstappen. Lights went out, and the race really determined in the first corner.
Is it me or is his mic going funny?
Yeah, his mic is going to shit.
What? My mic's going
Yeah.
to shit. Is that better?
Yeah. Yes.
That's better.
Okay. Thank you very much. The race pretty much over into the first corner. Norris got away well. Verstappen also got away well, just well enough to keep the inside. Norris pushing him off the edge of the track in rather dangerous move. Norris deciding to keep pinning Verstappen to the inside of the track. This was his downside. This was the downfall in the race for him, as it turned out to be, because that allowed Russell to come around the outside. Normally, wouldn't have been such a bad thing because the Mercedes pace is not great. However, Norris took a little bit of time to get his tyres warm, or at least clean after the going down the outside. And by the time they got to, I don't know, whatever it was, lap 5, I think, Verstappen had got past, pulled away, and also Norris struggled to get past Russell to start with, mainly because of the time it took. I think this was the big deciding factor. Norris pushing Verstappen right over to the edge and keeping him pinned there, allowing Russell to go down the outside. In hindsight, we could say that if Norris had just allowed Verstappen to get down the inside and followed him through in second place, he probably would have had a much better race and maybe even kept up with Verstappen through the early paces and had chances later in the race. However, not to be, as I say, Russell getting away first. Very good start with Russell. And then, of course, adverts. So in this heat wave, Lucky, that we're having at the moment,
It's
would
very
you like
warm.
to
Yes,
have...
very warm.
It is very warm at the moment. Very Spanish, one might say. Would you like to have very cool balls or not? Do you think that's important to you?
That's something I consider every morning. Is the temperature
Every
of my
morning.
ball? Yes.
Yeah, I actually have developed a new product. It's called Ballo Temp. It's a special device which you put into your pants, and it measures the temperature of your balls independently. So you
Whoa.
can have, there's 2 readings. You can get it, it's a Bluetooth to your watch. And it comes up with 2 readings, and it says, one says manscape immediately, and one says don't bother with that shit. So and I think that's well worth buying. Cool balls,
It's simple.
very important.
Simple. Yes,
It is
absolutely.
simple. So remember, people, Manscaped, the new app on your watch, Ballo Temp. Right, moving onwards, back to the race. Sorry, we are a sponsored podcast, by the way. Moving on. So yeah, by the time Verstappen got past Russell, he was well in gear, and it wasn't until lap 3, I think, he went around the outside into turn 1. There was no chance. Russell just didn't have the pace, clearly. And by the time Norris got past, Verstappen was gone in the distance, and there was no chance of him catching up. The Ferraris also had a tangle into turn 1, which, again, Leclerc, who was not happy about it, basically having not been left room by Sainz. That was a feature of the weekend for Leclerc, which we will talk about a little later. And then lap 16, the pits start happening. Russell in first onto medium tyres, in with Sainz as well. The others left out in the lead. Verstappen, Norris going for it. Lap 19. Then Hamilton getting past getting past Sainz after his pit stop. And again, Hamilton drove extremely well throughout the weekend. There's just the lack of pace in the Mercedes, which was a problem. Then much later on, lap 24, Norris decides to finally come in a pit. Again, then dropping places to Verstappen again, although he did manage to make it back up again before the next set of pits. And then lap 27, Leclerc overtaken by Norris as Norris on fresher tyres starts coming through the field. Very well done. A few overtakes. Sainz then catching up to the back of Leclerc as well. Sorry, Leclerc catching up to the back of Sainz as well eventually, putting them two back on the same place again. Lap 29, Piastri also starts making moves on the back of the field, past the Alpines, which although did incredibly well this weekend, were still very slow. But faster than a lot of cars, but still very slow compared to the top 5 teams in reality. Norris again cutting through past Hamilton, catching up all the time to Verstappen, and eventually, Russell, and then eventually Verstappen. Eventually, as I say, past Russell, lap 35 now, getting past Russell around the outside of turn 4. 1, 2, 3, turn 3. Russell coming back on turn 4, not giving up the place. Into turn 5, Russell takes the lead back, and then into turn 6, Norris eventually takes the place on the inside. A thrilling part of the race, and showing that these two races, have still got it going on. All the time, of course, Perez gamely making up places from 18th, right up until the very end of the race, in what turned out to be probably the fastest car. He did almost manage to do something, which was to get into the points, not failing though. The two Mercedes also having a bit of a battle, and we know there's no love lost there. Lewis Hamilton going around the outside into turn 1, a favourite overtaking place for just about everybody, showing the strength of the DRS. Then lap 55, Sainz giving up the place to Leclerc, so Leclerc on his fresh tyres could go after. Alex Albon having a strange incident, turn 3, drives off the track. We don't really know what happened. Hopefully one of you guys do, because I don't. And then in the end of the race, Verstappen coming home in first place, with Norris just behind, about a second or two behind. Then it was Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Perez in 8th place, so he did actually manage to get some points. Gasly in 9th, and Ocon in 10th place. And that rounds out the race review, and the situation now in the championship after all of that, of course, is Verstappen just pulls away again. I don't even know what the places were. Maybe one of you guys could tell me. Over to you, Fabio. How was the race for you? Did you manage to stay awake?
Oh yeah, the race was really exciting. I love the race. I mean, it's a weird track. There was some really interesting moment. Russell on the first lap, and then also with I think it was with Norris. They just went side by side for 3 or 4 corners. There was some really good things happening. The thing which it really puzzled me about the whole race is how bad the tactics were, and I was watching the race and I couldn't understand what the hell was happening. It's easy. I mean, it's fair to say that basically McLaren lost the race by not pitting Norris where he should have pitted. And then there was some other, really weird stuff happening, hard tires, which were not, they tried the hard tires, which they never work in Barcelona. The thing which really puzzled me most is the fact that they were trying to save tires. And, it looked like they never raced in Barcelona. Barcelona has always been a track where the tire get mangled. It's really abrasive, and it has always been like that. Always been like that. It's a race where you have to pit 2 times at least, maybe 3 times is not a bad idea. And seems to be, people were saving tires. It was mental. There was at the moment people with the harder compound out of the pit, they were faster than people with mildly used red tires, meaning that the tire really degraded really fast. And I don't know. I mean, it seems to me I was the only one remembering that. That's what's happening. Barcelona usually is a track where you basically stop like 3 times and you had qualifying stints every time. Every time you go out. That's the way Barcelona has always been. And so that was the thing which was really puzzling. A lot of teams lost. McLaren lost the race. I think that even Piastri, they tried to keep him out, to stop Verstappen at a certain point. Pointless at all, because he passed him I think it was corner 8 or 9, somewhere which it does never happen, and it did happen because the poor guy had no traction on his tires. So yeah, really puzzling the way that they managed, all the teams managed it. Some special, good mentions, for Alpine. I don't know if it was the Briatore factor. I mean, it just showed up and everybody, and apparently that car started to work. I don't know what the fuck is with that guy, but hey, I mean, it's a good thing for Alpine, I guess. Aston and Raging Bull, Cash App, Visa, whatever the hell, really bad. Especially the Raging Bull, they had some updates which they did not work at all, and there's still the big point of contention on how good really Red Bull is. I mean the car, because it is true that Verstappen won the race. But it's also true that Perez came, 11th or,
8th, I think, yeah.
8th. But, he got 1 minute from Verstappen. So, I don't know. I mean, the car is fast, but it's not as fast as it used to be. It's not as, super competitive as it used to be. While McLaren made a really good progress, Mercedes made really good progress. Ferrari was a disappointing race, but I'm still not sure if the Mercedes is actually a better car than Ferrari. I'm still a little bit on the fence over there. And Sunday wasn't a good time to figure it out because, again, of the weird tactics that we saw during the race.
Yep. Okay. Thank you so much. Over to you, Lucky. You're not an expert. Special host, Lucky Wolfing 7. Over to you.
Gosh, that was short.
Oh, let me just say, can I introduce, if I may? I mean, my best Spanish accent. Le reportage Laurent Sargent. Thank you.
I hadn't even finished rolling the joint, and he finished his report. I can't believe this. Okay. Yes, indeed. The moment, especially everybody Fabio waits for, le reportage de Logan Sargent. Another disastrous weekend for Logan Sargent. The only thing he didn't do this weekend was cost his team money. Everything else just seemed to be him pretending to be a Formula One driver. However, I think it's all over for Logan. I must tell you that there was a moment while I was watching the race, and the live timing took a strange hiccup, and it actually showed Alex Albon out and Sargent in 19th. But then suddenly it changed back to Albon in 19th and Sargent 20th, which meant that he'd actually been overtaken by a car that wasn't even the race anymore. It could only happen to Logan. But listen, fear not. Logan, I believe, has got a choice of 2 teams for next year that he could possibly be driving for. He's currently having talks with Just Eat and Uber. So he could be driving for either of them next year. Okay, this
Although,
race.
before we go, I've got a little bit to add to that reportage, Laurent Sargent, which is he may also be having in talks with Prema for an Indy drive next year, by the way. For real, I'm not just serious. So it looks like he may be off to IndyCar.
Prema Porsche?
I don't know. No, Prema.
Right.
I don't
No,
know. Prema
Prema,
is the name of the Indy team. I don't know.
It's an Italian team. They used they race in F1, sorry, in F2. I think it's the
F1,
they used to be the still are maybe like the junior team of Ferrari in F2.
Okay. Well, they're going to have an IndyCar team
right.
with Chevrolet engines.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a very good racing team. I mean, it's
Well,
solid.
Yeah, not in IndyCar. They're a kind of also ran IndyCar team, but yeah.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a solid racing team. You know, it's not like who was the guy with the horns beverages? You know,
I mean,
yeah.
no offense, but you've also said it's Italian, so
Yeah.
in America that's not such a solid team. But okay, we'll see.
Oh, really? I mean, like all the chassis in IndyCar are Dallara. You mean that not solid team?
Yeah, that's American.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, okay.
The American Italian team,
good,
Dallara and company. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
Dallara is not an Italian-American team. What the fuck are you talking about?
It is when it comes to IndyCar, I have to say.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not shitting. I mean, I am shitting
Jesus
you, but anyway,
Christ.
there we go. Okay, let's just say Verstappen. You saying Verstappen has a real
Is this the same Kramer?
Prema? Yeah.
Prema. Prema.
You can say it like that, or you can say it.
Oh, sorry.
I think you actually pronounce it Kramer.
Got you.
Yeah. Kramer. Bremer. Sorry, Bremer.
Okay, so
That's how you pronounce it.
So getting back to the Spanish Grand Prix.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you finished that. Go ahead.
No, well, partially finished. I mean, there's not much to go through, really, is there? But finishing off on Logan, I think Phil Hill, who's been dead since 2008, if he could be seeing what's going on, he'd be spinning in his grave right now, and he'd probably be going faster than Logan Sargent.
Yeah.
However, we'll move on from la reportage de Logan Sargent,
Oui.
and we'll go to George Russell. I have this feeling that George Russell will never amount to anything in Formula One. His blocking maneuver on Verstappen was ridiculous. I mean, what was he thinking? He actually got out of the way of Verstappen, let him through, and then fucking slotted in behind. The guy might be quick in a race car, but he's not a racer. And the sooner people realize this, I think, the better.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
he that was.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
We need
for the second week in a row was his to lose, and he lost it. Although his tactics might not have been tire tactics might not have been the best, he was in the front. It's not the best overtaking track in the world. I just don't see why he wasn't first over the line, and I can only put it down to his racecraft not being what it should be.
Okay.
But
Fabio.
Overall, Verstappen won. That's his 61st Grand Prix win.
Yeah.
No, on you go.
Yeah, Fabio, you just address that point, because I got a few things to say there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit harsh of a judgment on Russell. I mean, it is a good driver. I think that the point that Lucky was making, has some merit in the way that Russell has shown this year has made some really good races, especially compared to Lewis, except the last ones. And I get to that point really fast. So maybe there's been some expectation from the guy, of being a little bit better than he actually is right now. I think he's got the talent, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that right now is as good as the perception is. And my point would be Hamilton race. The Lewis Hamilton is a driver which has nothing to show to anybody right now, and I think that the reason why Russell has been better than Lewis in the previous races was because Lewis knew that he didn't have the car, to be in the position that he has to be. Now that the car is a little bit better, you could see that the guy is not driving the way he used to drive before. Is driving, the way he used to drive, the way he's supposed to drive. Which, it's a good thing for Ferrari. At least we had a Ferrari driver on the podium this Sunday, on the wrong car, but still. But I think that he made a really, really excellent race, really good race. And the reason he did that is because now he feels that he has a car where he can be competitive, for the position that he wants to be. And Russell is going down because he's not on the same level. So,
okay, my point is, look, if you know that the guy's going to get past anyway, then you want to let him get by with losing as little time as possible. I think that's what Russell was doing. He knew he wasn't up there for a win. There's no chance he could get a win. So he just let Verstappen go. No point in fighting him. Also, the danger of fighting Verstappen is that he'll run into you. So, there's always that. If you try and defend too hard, we all know Verstappen will have an accident with you in an attempt to get past if you push it to that point. And again, he proved that with Norris. Norris backed out and let Verstappen in. Right? He could have kept it once he'd pushed him off. He could have literally kept that same width to the side of the racetrack, and Verstappen would have had no choice but to back out, very much like Massa Schumacher back in the day, in Portugal, I think it was. And of course, Massa backed out because there was no chance, because he knew Schumacher would just put him in the wall, and that's the problem. It's psychology at work here. Verstappen is not just a dominating driver because he's very fast, he's very consistent, and he's very skillful, but he's also has the psychological advantage over virtually all of the field, but with one exception potentially. Well, one exception of the main drivers, which is obviously Lewis, and even then, Lewis still knows that they're going to have an accident if he tries, right? So psychologically, Verstappen is put his heavy mark on the rest of the field, and there you go. Credit to him, because that's what the top drivers have to do.
Okay, I completely agree with your point. However, he's got to show Verstappen that Verstappen can't have that psychological edge. This was the thing that Senna used to do, as you remember. It was either an accident. It's either you let me through, or it was going to be an.
Yeah, but there's only one driver that's done that to Verstappen, and that's Hamilton. Right?
Yeah.
And look what happened. They both go out.
Learn this,
but Verstappen's not going to change his ways now. Right? So you're just going to have accident after accident. If I was Norris,
well,
I would have had that accident.
Yeah, but that is true to a point. Lewis did that to Verstappen when they were fighting for the championship, and they both had, the chance to win the championship, and that's why Lewis went at him.
Yeah, agreed.
While I agree that up until now nobody has been put in that position, I agree with the fact that Norris should have put himself in that position, because Norris right now has a car which is he has a tool where with which he can actually fight Verstappen. So the fact that Norris didn't do that is actually really bad for Norris and not so much good for Verstappen, because Verstappen drives like that, we know. But now Norris has the weapon and he doesn't do that. So that is an issue with Norris, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
I am. Well, we can never be too much sure of anything, but I am positive that if Leclerc or maybe, I don't know, some other driver which can be put in the same position. So I just stick with Lewis, of course, but Lewis has done it before. I'm sure that if Leclerc had the same car as Norris and was in the same position, I don't know if he would have backed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I just think in the situation where like, as it turns out, again, in hindsight, I'm speaking in hindsight. So obviously, these drivers know better because they're actually in the situation. But I would say this: if Norris had not given Verstappen the room after driving him off the track, right, then he may have got a penalty for it, admittedly. But in future races, right, that would have put the psychological doubt into Verstappen's mind as to what Norris was going to do. And that would win him championships in the future. He's not going to win this championship. There's absolutely no chance he's going to win this championship as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And that's why he could and should have taken the risk.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, we agree with that. I mean, we've seen all the great champions doing that. I mean, even Vettel with Hamilton,
Prost,
of course.
Schumacher, Montoya.
I mean, I'm not even going, back there. I'm just talking about, drivers, modern day drive. Even Vettel doesn't race anymore, but even last year, if you see, Alonso, I think with Lewis 2 years ago. I mean that if you are a proper, angry F1 racing driver and you feel that you can fight for that position, you got to show balls, and they got to be at the right temperature. That's.
Thank you. Let me hang on a moment, please. There we go. Oh, sorry, it just took it away again. Oh, there we go. You were saying balls. You've got to show your balls. You've got to show a clean pair of heels to your balls. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. That was really
okay,
good.
let me go through a couple of messages because I need to do those. But thank you, Bob, for putting up the scores. These are the championship scores at the moment. Verstappen 219, Norris 150, Leclerc 148. I believe that's Norris just overtaking Leclerc in this race. So, again, well done to Norris. He's coming through. But that's what, 69? 69 points behind. 69. So, that's quite a lot, obviously. That's 2 DNFs at least. And, do we think that's going to happen? Probably not, especially as we now know. Verstappen's going to have to take an engine penalty before the end of the year. And Norris, not convinced yet he will have to, but let's say it's likely, especially with 24 races this year. So thank you very much, Bob. Bob also says Verstappen has a real fight to secure the 4th championship. Real fight? He has maybe a fight. I think he could probably win it with one hand tied behind his wheel. Or I should say one bollock caught in his race suit. I'm just saying, don't know. Even though you're a Verstappen fan, I know it's fair of you to say that it's a fight. And I hope it is going to be a fight because it'll be entertaining for the rest of us. I started watching F1 in the 90s, Lucky. So that was in response to, hey, Bob, quick question for you. Do you have a favourite team from the early 80s? Early 80s, surely it's got to be Lotus. Except unless you're me, in which case it's Williams. Don't say anything, Fabio. Don't say anything. Okay. Bob was a Schumacher fan back then. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Speaking of Schumacher fans, Fabio Briatore. Can we just talk about Fabio?
It's not Fabio, it's Flavio.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flavio, of course.
Yeah.
Trying to distance himself to yourself from him now. Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
I knew. Well, I met the guy more than once.
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, he has a beach resort, which is what half an hour from where I live.
Sorry. Did you say a bitch resort?
Yeah, beach, like on the sea and the sand.
Yeah.
Beach.
Oh, right. Okay. That
Yeah.
kind of bitch.
Well,
Okay.
there might be some bitches too. I don't, well, there might. Yeah, I'm more than positive that there are, but that's not. I don't think that it's called a resort. That. Yeah.
We also like Fabio Bub says we also always watched it with a friend. We also like the Jordan team. Of course, the Jordan team famous for signing Schumacher.
Yeah.
And who stole Eddie Jordan's prize jewel? None other than Fabio Briatore. Sorry, Flavio Briatore.
Yeah. Anyway, the guy is 74. Is being called by what's the name of the CEO of Alpine? De Meo, I think.
Luca.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been called by the guy, to actually be like a super consultant, for Alpine. Now, the guy shows up, right? It did nothing. It just showed up. It's like an angel just appeared. It just showed up, and lo and behold, those two cars are both in Q3. They make a good race. They don't hit each other, which is another point for them, and they both finish the race in points. Is it just a coincidence? Maybe it is. Quite surely it is. But still, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, again, I think it's more down to the strength of the Renault engine than it is for team management. But nonetheless, timing is everything in Formula One. So
listen, yeah,
there you go. There you go.
yeah,
So always with a friend like the Jordan team, and then Russell has no balls. So first corner proves that. We went round the outside in the first corner, which is obviously the best way. But it's always a little risky doing that. No balls.
no, he has balls. He says
He has balls, but
Yeah.
I can assure you that he doesn't use Manscaped,
yeah,
and they're not clean shaven.
yeah.
there
He
you
got a little bit tangled,
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. So that's what we're going to say on Russell and his balls. I don't think Russell's the complete driver yet, for sure. Obviously, I think that's obvious to say. Russell proved himself back in Turkey, quite a few years ago now, 3-4 years ago now, when he replaced Bottas. Then he had the skills to dice it with the best of them when he's got the car. And I think, like with Lewis, he's in that team and he's learnt from Lewis, so he doesn't give his all unless he's going to get the car to do it. So that's why he didn't put up a fight. I mean, it's that simple. I think he was looking for third place, and he would have got it if he hadn't have been put on the hard tyres, which was the mistake that both he and Sainz allowed to happen.
By the way, you mentioned Bottas. I forgot to mention that Bottas actually made an overtake, and he overtook Alonso on the straight. So, I mean, keep in mind that Bottas probably overtakes somebody once every 5 years. That was good.
Yeah, they don't call him fucking Bottas for nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So I
there
mean,
we go.
he actually overtook somebody.
Okay, well done to Bottas.
Yeah.
Are there any other outstanding? Welcome back, Lucky. Did you have anything to add to what we were just saying there? Are you there, Lucky?
I didn't. Apologies for that. I don't know what happened. That was. Yeah, I think so. No.
Oh well.
Yeah, possibly.
It's very hot in the UK, so the internet is probably playing up a little bit. Let's just say that.
It's very hot. I mean, it's 20 degrees in the UK. I mean, it's 20 degrees here at this time, and it rained today. So.
Yeah, let me just check. 24 in London right now, and it's nearly 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, good. Good. That's good.
23 even. So there you go. It's hot, and we're in the middle of a heat wave.
Yeah, and also got Brexit, so.
Yeah, I mean that just adds to the misery, really, doesn't it?
Right.
Like, you know.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like when I walk down the street, people say, "Oh, he's gone again." When I walk down the street, people say to me, "Oh, hello, hello, Britishman." They say, "Good to see you, Britishman." You know. So there we go. Just to say,
Okay.
I think we're still loving it over here. You know, they go, "Oh, you must be British because you're in this country."
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Fantastic. Anyway, there you go.
And you show them your blue passport, of course. Yeah. So,
Right.
Yeah, I do. I show them a British flag. Go, there you go.
Yeah.
I go, God bless the king, sir. God bless the king, sir. And they go, oh, yes, God bless the king. Okay. I think we've really covered it now.
Yes.
But there was a few more things I was going to say. We didn't really say much about Fabio being back. Flavio being back. Yeah. I mean, that's a bit of a shocker to some people. Did you see the state of him, though? Like, he could have at least gone to a fucking barber's before he turned up in front of the cameras.
Oh, listen, man. I mean, if you have his money, you don't give a flying fuck about barber.
Yeah, true.
And stuff,
Yeah, very
so.
true. Very true. There you go. He's part owner of the Schumacher Millions. Yeah.
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 And he's 74. So let's not forget that.
Yeah. Very true. Okay. We got another question. Yeah, you are welcome. Let me just. Go ahead. Speaking of. No, you got to go.
I was just going to say, speaking of Flav.
Yeah.
Hear me now? Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Flav, he was interviewed on the grid by Karun Chandrak, and Karun Chandrak asked him this question, and the words that actually came out of Flav's mouth didn't appear to be anything discernible that doesn't normally come from an injured animal, to be quite honest with you. And it was painfully obvious that Karun Chandrak had no idea what he'd said.
Yeah. That was very funny.
It was complete nonsense.
Yeah, it's like he wanted to say something in English, but then didn't remember how to speak the language. It was quite funny. It was quite funny.
I mean, they don't pay him to speak English.
Yeah.
Now they pay him to speak French. So Chandra should have
and he won't speak that either, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Okay, Bob says, did you see Pine Peak? Electric Truck won it. It's a Hyundai electric family car, finished third. That's amazing.
Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak, not Pine Creek.
No, I did say I thought I said Pikes Peak, but I might have misspoke.
No, you said Pine Peak.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I can't speak English either. Who knows?
That's
there we go.
Both of us.
Leah Block, of course, who did Pines Peak. Pines Peak.
Yeah.
Pikes Peak. Is it Pikes Peak or?
It's Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak.
Yeah, Pines Peak. Yeah. Pikes Peak did like that last year in a really nice Porsche. Is now in F1 Academy, and F1 Academy, obviously the all ladies championship, where they race with quite decent they're almost F3 cars, not quite, but almost, and that's quite entertaining. Although their star, Jamie Chadwick, is now, of course, in Indy Next, and she had moved up to 5th place in the Indy Next championship. And that's quite good, right? Because obviously it's a very competitive series. So I mentioned that as well, racing from around the world. Okay, so I think that's everything. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say my final word about George Russell?
Oh, please do. Yes, George Russell, yes.
Okay, my final word on George Russell is he needs to do what Mansell and Schumacher did to Senna and show
Grow
that
a moustache.
even, even though Senna doesn't take any shit, neither will they. That's what George Russell needs to do. And how he needs to do it, I'm not sure. Whether it's going to take a few incidents where he stands up for himself or one big incident where they both end up off the track, I don't know. But he needs to do that and not let Verstappen dominate him the way he's being dominated.
Okay.
And that's my final
Thank you.
words.
Thank you so much for that. We're going to now move on
Okay.
to that part of the show that everybody waits for, in terms of the myth or quiz, or myth and quiz. So let me just play the intro. Is it a myth? Is it a quiz? Is it a quiz and a myth, or a myth and a quiz? It's both a myth and a quiz. It's myth or quiz. So over to you, Lucky, for myth or quiz.
It is. It is indeed. Now, before we start this quiz that's this week being brought to you by Bolotemp, uh, I will say that one of this is as short as possible because Fabio has something to talk about. It's being hinted in my avatar at the moment. Okay, what's that car? Is that Fab?
It's a
My avatar?
250 LM short wheelbase.
That's
Are you
one.
there?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I hope I'm here. Yeah. Okay, as I said, we're combining the two this week to keep things as short as possible. Now, after round 9, the scores are Bob and Simos both in the pits, equals Fabio went for the undercut, and he's now lapping on warm tires with 3. But today, there's going to be some extra points to be had. So that might change. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about and I
We're
want
talking
to
about
know
what?
the event
Sorry, we're going to talk about what?
and the year. Okay, I hope, but
No, can you repeat that?
an
'Cause you
event,
No,
cut
a
out.
Formula One calendar
Lucky,
event.
your mic is cutting out really
Yeah.
bad. And I think there is a little bit of a lag.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, try again.
How about now?
Yep, try again.
Okay, we're going.
Yep.
Okay, right, fair. We're going to talk about a single Formula One race. Okay, it's a normal calendar event. Okay, nothing outside the Formula One Championship as it's normally run. Okay, now this event, I want to know the name of the event and the year this event was held. Okay, now it was only held once on the Formula One calendar. Formula One only ever went once to this circuit. However, it is a circuit that is still in use. Okay, so this event was actually organized by Carroll Shelby. It was promoted and organized by Carroll Shelby, who we all know is the Shelby Cobra guy, driver, Le Mans driver, racing driver. Okay, we got everything so far. Now, this race was controversial because of what happened during practice and qualifying. In qualifying, there was a couple of reasonably bad offs. Martin Brundle went off and was actually hospitalized because his Tyrrell hit the wall so hard it broke both his legs, and he ended up in hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
So far we've got qualifying which was Nigel Mansell on pole in his Lotus, Elio De Angelis also in a Lotus in second place, and we have Derek Warwick third in his Renault. As far as the teams that you guys follow, the best placed Ferrari was Rene Arnoux, and the best placed Williams was uh, Rosberg, Keke Rosberg, and he was in eighth place. And just to give you a slightly more of a clue to this event, the team that I was cheering for was Alfa Romeo. The team that I was cheering for at that time was Alfa Romeo, and their best driver was in 14th place, and he was Eddie Cheever. Okay, now after qualifying happened,
What's the
there were
question, by the
rumors.
way?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I just want to know-
I think he wants to
I
know
just want to know
where
the
the track is. I'm trying to remember. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
So the race was held in a parking lot, basically.
Yeah.
But
You're not getting any more quick. You're not getting any more clues. I'm just going to keep talking until you guys remember what it is, and you will. You'll
Yeah.
eventually
I
get
mean,
it.
I'm ready to guess. I'm ready to guess.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I can't. What the fuck?
I
was
know
Las
that?
now, if you
Vegas,
want the
maybe?
2 points,
No, it wasn't
If you
Las
want the
Vegas.
2
It
points-
was.
In
it
that
was,
case, it's probably Long Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach. You're right. You're right.
no. Guys, just think about what I'm saying, and I'll keep talking, and you'll eventually get it. Okay? And I want
Okay.
not only the event, I want the year as well.
I just hope that Bob
Okay.
Elvis gives the answer right now.
Yeah, please, Bob, give us
Please,
the
Bob,
answer.
save us. Jesus
You-
Christ. Google it. I don't care. Google it. Fuck me.
You'll get this.
Okay, go ahead.
So, event and year is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
After practice, after qualifying, there was rumors of a driver's boycott of this race
Yeah, I remember
because
that. Yeah,
of track breakup.
yeah.
Okay. However, that didn't come to fruition because Bernie Eccleston made the organizers fix the track, which they did with quick drying concrete. But the constructors themselves told the drivers, look, there's going to be contractual
Oh, okay.
problems.
So
if
I
you
think it
don't
was a
race.
car park.
And
I think it was.
It was Detroit.
1982, Los Angeles.
No, you jumped in.
Yeah.
You jumped in with
Did you-
guesses. If you
hear
just keep
what I
listening,
said?
you'll get the answer.
What? Sorry, what was it?
Yeah, I
Detroit?
heard what you said. It's wrong.
Detroit. Yes, there you go.
No, you're wrong. No,
No, still wrong.
Jesus.
Well, we
Christ,
don't
guys.
know because you're not really.
Yeah, he's
saying
lagging
no.
a lot, so we don't know who you say no to.
We've guessed 4 different circuits, and you haven't said no to any of them specifically. Go ahead.
Listen, I told you, if you just keep listening, okay, you'll get it.
Yeah.
If you keep shouting out
Okay.
guesses, we're going to be here all night. But if you keep listening,
Okay.
you'll eventually get it. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I mean,
Eventually.
we'll get
Right,
at
it's
some
not
point.
19
Eventually, it's the
not
operative
Detroit,
word.
it's not 1982.
Was it Watkins
Not
Glen?
Detroit, it's not fucking 1982 either. No, it's not fucking Watkins Glen. Right. So,
Not Fort
anyway,
Park.
It's funny because he's lagging, so.
There was one in LA in the.
Yeah, there was one.
And
in
that,
there.
that, I remember
That was Long
watching the
Beach.
thing.
LA is Long Beach.
Oh, is it? Okay, LA is Long Beach. Okay.
Yes. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Okay,
Alright.
so the race
So you said
actually
no,
did
it's not
start.
Long Beach, though, right? It's not
No.
Long
It's
Beach.
not fucking
So it's not Long
no.
Beach and it's not Detroit.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And it's not Watkins Glen, and it's not Las Vegas, or anything you've mentioned so far.
Okay.
Houston.
Miami.
It was
Remember,
Houston.
No.
Oh, Dallas.
Remember,
Dallas.
I said
Dallas.
It was Dallas.
it was indeed Dallas.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fabio got it first. So I'm
No.
afraid
Simons got it first. Got a tad. It was a little bit faster than me. Yeah, because I said Houston, and then he said, "Oh yeah, no Dallas," and then I said Dallas, but Simons got it first.
Okay, Simon
so-
gets the Dallas in that case. So that's 1
Okay,
point.
so and I guess it's 84 then. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
couldn't
was
be
indeed.
fucking bothered about the year, you know. So
There
yeah.
you go. 84, that's exactly what it was. 1984. So, as I said, things can change dramatically. That puts Simon's now in the lead with 4 points. And Fab's one
Because
down.
I'm a gentleman. So there you go.
Yeah.
What-
Honest player.
who? No. Who was the driver? Samus. You said.
Sterling Moss.
Yeah. Because I pulled a Sterling Moss. So there you go.
He drove for Ferrari, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. No, he didn't.
Oh, he drove a Ferrari, of course. He drove a Ferrari, but either be a Le Mans or a Mille Miglia, whatever the fuck. I'm pretty sure Sterling Moss drove for Ferrari at some time.
At some
Actually,
time, yeah, because he
I
was.
thought Ferrari was the arch enemy.
He was teammate to Fangio as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Remember, Sterling Moss wanted to drive British as much as possible.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty
So-
sure he drove a Ferrari.
He actually, you know, fun fact, he actually
Sterling
drove
was it, right?
one of the Ferraris that Lucky is showing up. I just Googled. He drove twice, 60 in the 60 and 61 with a Ferrari 250 GT. So
Oh, yeah,
right.
great car.
That I didn't know. That I didn't.
Anyway, there we go. Okay, so thank you.
So-
By the way,
hold on,
Indianapolis.
hold on. Just wait. As I said, you
go ahead.
You both now got a question each that you can redeem a point on. Okay, so you're both going to get the same question. As I mentioned earlier, the highest placed Ferrari in qualifying was Rene Arnoux, and the highest placed Williams was Keke Rosberg. Who was Rene Arnoux' teammate, Fabio, and who's Keke Rosberg's teammate, Simons?
84 might have been Alboreto, maybe.
Okay, you get your point.
Oh,
Amos?
God. And Kessie Rosberg, 84.
He was like Logan, this guy's teammate, in that he was Logan Sargent. This person would have been a name in a French accent.
Rosberg and I don't know, Jean-Michel Jarrier.
You might have said Flavio Briatore for fuck's sake.
No, I don't know. Crazy, I guess. I don't know. Rosberg and no, I can't
Long
remember.
blonde hair.
It's not on my. It's not on my.
Oh, yeah, he also drove for Ferrari later on. Oh shit. Yeah, I think it was Swedish.
No, he's French.
Oh, French. Okay. I shut up.
No, I don't
I
know.
thought you had it there. Okay, well, I'll give it to you. It's Jacques Lafitte.
Oh.
Lafitte, yeah. Oh, thank you.
It was Jacques Lafitte.
Yeah.
So,
I just my brain stopped
that
working
is-
after the extended torture of the first question.
Yeah.
Well, it was only extended because you two kept fucking interrupting. Jesus Christ.
Listen, nothing you could have said would have drove us to the right track, because you said everything we needed to know, but we just couldn't think about it.
Listen, yeah, I also had 2 visual clues. My first visual clue was Nigel Mansell lying on the ground beside his Lotus, because if you remember, he tried to push his Lotus over the line and fainted. And my very last visual clue was J.R. Ewing.
Yeah, well, that would.
And I can tell you, none of those clues would have helped.
Well,
at least for me.
I would have guessed Dallas at that point, just out of sheer desperation.
Oh, yeah. Okay, desperation. Yeah, thank you very much. That's what we did.
So anyway, Simon, you've gone up to 4 points, and Fabio, you've gone up to 4 points, and Bob, who isn't here, I guess he's still on 2, but he's still doing better than you guys because it only took him 1 round to get 2 points, and you've taken.
It
10
was
rounds
actually a parking lot, isn't it, Samus?
Yeah, I think it was.
It
Yeah.
was a fairground. It was a big fairground. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there was the last chicane is where the surface came up.
Yeah.
Because the cars were running through there so fast. Because it was like a tiny little chicane. And they had to put it in because of the way the road was, I guess. And the way the pit entrance was. So it was just dangerous. It's just dangerous.
Okay, so quickly to give you the myth involved in that race. Ayrton Senna, if you remember, was running for Tolman in 1984. We discussed that earlier on when we talked about the Monaco race. Now, I can't remember what lap it was that Senna went out. However, he went out after hitting one of the walls. Okay? He then went back to the pits and told whoever it was in charge of Tolman, I'm trying to remember his name, Brian something. I can't. Anyway, he told the guy, listen, this was not my fault. The wall had moved.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
He was adamant that it wasn't his fault and the wall had moved. Now, after the race, the engineer, Senna's engineer, went out to look at this piece of wall, and indeed it had been moved. It was moved by one of the other cars going off, and Senna claimed that small bit of movement, which was only like 10 millimeters, was the reason that he had crashed. So,
There you go.
If you want to, if you really think that Senna was that precise, then sure. I don't know, but it's what Senna said, and it's what the facts seem to suggest.
Thank you. Interesting myth. Interesting. Okay, so thank you so much for that. That was the quiz or myth or quiz. Quiz is a myth, is a quiz, is a myth or quiz. Thank you so much, Lucky. Slightly running over, but that's great. We got a quick question here from Bob Elvis, who's asking Lucky for a point. If you want to, your chance to win a point here, Lucky. Who is the oldest still living F1 driver?
Somebody from the 60s, I would think.
Okay.
Jesus. God, I'm thinking of random. There's so many of them.
There are.
Arturo Mazzario. Is that how you pronounce his name? Arturo Mazzario?
Okay, I don't know who that is, but yep.
Yeah, Merzari was the guy which...
It's
the guy who pulled out Lauda from the fire.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's a wild guess, by the way.
No, but yeah.
It's not him. There must be older people than him, because like John Watson is the same age as him, and he's still alive quite well. By the way, this is Nigel Mansell's 70th.
Sorry, what's your answer?
Birthday. I have no idea. I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
Okay. Jackie
got
Stewart.
It. I got it.
Jackie.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, Jackie.
Okay,
And he
so
was a
there we go.
60s driver as well.
So that's Fabio on 5 points. I'm on 4 points. Lucky on 0 points, and Bub, you're on 2 points.
2.
So there we go. Okay, that is the show for everybody. Thank you so much.
I don't need points because I asked the questions.
Well, it's just as well because you didn't get any points.
You need all the points. You need all the points we can get. Listen, you need all the points we can get, so you can buy a better internet connection. Where you need?
Amongst other things.
Okay, that's enough of your heckling. Fabio, tell us about why I've got an avatar of Le Mans winning Ferraris this week.
Oh no, I'll be really short. I mean, the Ferrari won Le Mans for the second time in a row with the 599. I think it's 599 something. But yeah, I mean, it was actually a really good race, fantastic race. Very close finish, and the funny thing is that I think 3 hours to the end there was a little bit of a well, kind of a disaster because there was a Ferrari in front, but he pitted and he put the tires and fuel, and he went out, and the door came loose. So they, the driver tried to close the door, but eventually the race direction, called them in because it was dangerous. So they closed the door and they decided to refuel. And that basically switched all, the refueling thing. Well, lo and behold, they won, the Le Mans because the other cars had to stop for refueling. And he won with like 2% of the virtual fuel tank, which is another super complicated thing. We don't have time to talk about. But anyway, they were running on fumes, on virtual fumes, but they managed to win the race anyway. So yeah, it was really exciting race. First time that Valentino Rossi, raced in Le Mans. Unfortunately, it ended during the first hour of the night. His car crashed. Well, he wasn't driving at the time. One of his teammates was driving it, but the car crashed. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, it was a really exciting race. The Alpine, by the way, they were shit. So again, maybe because Briatore wasn't there. I don't know.
There you go. Oh, speaking of shit, Ferrari's technical director, assistant technical director, is leaving to go to Aston Martin.
Who's the guy?
I can't remember his name because it's all in foreign. He's got a foreign name. Something like.
That was Mike Crack.
No. He's replacing Mike Crack. Mike Crack says fucking bollocks.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the designer. Who's the designer? Say his name.
No, I can't. I'm not the guy. Yeah, but apparently, talking about rumors, apparently, Newey has already signed for Ferrari. I mean, he must have signed like this. This must have been the 5th time that he signs for Ferrari, according to rumors.
Yeah, according to rumors. But the point being I'm making here is that the designer from Ferrari is now signed for Aston Martin. Mm-hmm. So this lends more support to the fact that they've got somebody else to replace it. So yeah, there you go. We're looking like Adrian Newey once again is likely to be the person that ends up at Ferrari. Let's hope anyway. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. Thank you for the question pub and the help with the points. Much appreciated. And we'll see everybody in 2 weeks' time. Is it 2 weeks? No, I think it's 1 week's time.
It's 1 week. It's going to be Austria, and we're going to have a sprint race.
Fantastic. Sprint race around a really boring circuit.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, the Red Bull Ring. Yeah. And by Red Bull Ring, I'm not talking about Helmut's arsehole either. So there's that. And we'll see everybody in a week's time. Ta-da!
Stand back.